Go Jackets.
Hello all, and welcome to WreckTalk. So the 2023 ACC schedule for every team is now being released. I just got through doing a live show. We did an impromptu live show, C-Dog and I, as the reveal show was going on the ACC network. And I just wanted to go over the schedule and just give a way too early. Let's just see what wins and losses, what our record might be. I'm getting this from the ACC football Twitter. If you follow them on Twitter, they have this grid view of the schedule, which has every team on there. This is really nice. You just, in a really concise view, you can see the whole ACC schedule. All these darker gray backgrounds are away games, and the white are obviously home games for those teams. So here we are, Georgia Tech. I guess first we should say the spring game has been announced. It's going to be later this year than it has been in past. I think in past years it's been in March. It's going to be Saturday, April the 15th at 1 p.m. So finally, we get a spring game on a Saturday. It's going to be televised on the ACC network as well. So I think we're going to see a big turnout for that game. I think a lot of Tech guys are really hyped for Brent Key, what he's been able to do already on a short season, taking over in like week 4 or 5. So let's get into it. So we open up with our only, non-Saturday game. This is kind of like our faux Thursday game. Friday, September the 2nd. Is that right? I want to say it's supposed to be the 1st. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's actually the 1st. It's wrong on this schedule just because they would the 2nd's a Saturday, but this schedule has to work for this grid view has to work for every team. So yeah, Friday, September the 1st, we open up with Louisville. And I was talking with C-Dog about this. This is really a toss-up game. Both teams, Tech and Louisville, will be opening up, both with first-year head coaches. Now, this is a home game for us. It's at Mercedes-Benz. I'm trying to think. We haven't had a ton of success playing at Mercedes-Benz. We're playing Clemson. We played Tennessee there one year with Paul and took an L. This is a 50-50 game. I'll tell you this. If we're really going to make a major turn this season in the trajectory of our program and in recruiting, I think we've got to find a way to pick up a W here in week 1. So I'm going to put us down for a W there. But look, this is just like the way too early. I could obviously, I could see us losing this game in a close one. But even with a first-year head coach, Louisville finished the season really strong. Like they beat Wake Forest like 40-something to like 45-30 or something. Wake had a really good season this year. So that'll be a home game Friday. I don't think any of the times have been released for these games, but maybe for this one I have to look at another view of the schedule. But then we stay at home following week, September 9th, play South Carolina State. Now, if we can't find a way to beat South Carolina State, we got major problems. This would be worse than a loss to NIU. This is not even a Division I program, so should be able to get a win here. Then we go on the road and play Ole Miss in Oxford. Now, Ole Miss is an interesting team. They started off strong last year and had a colossal collapse toward the end of the season. Sorry about that. For some reason it just stopped recording. Anyways, a glassless WreckTalk will continue. But yeah, like I was saying, Ole Miss had a colossal kind of meltdown last year after having success early. Now, this is also where Zamari Walton ended up, and this is kind of a grudge game. If you remember last season, Lane Kiffin, after beating us 42-0, in the post-game press conference was like, yeah, I mean, I really would have liked to have thrown some more, but I know that Jeff Collins is on the hot seat, and I don't really like seeing coaches get fired. So, like, again, leave it to Lane to do the right thing in the worst way. Excuse me. But I do not see us going on the road and getting a win in Oxford. We stay on the road September 23rd and go to Wake Forest. Now, Wake was extremely senior heavy last year, and they lost their quarterback. Was it Sam Hartman, I believe is his name? He went to Notre Dame. So that's pretty killer. When we did this impromptu live show, I said going 2-2 here, I would probably be happy with in the first 4 games. So I have us taking 2 L's on the road early in the season. Now, I think this could easily be like we beat South Carolina State and Wake and come out 2-2. Either way, I think we're 2-2 in the first 4 weeks. So September 30th, we finished the month against Bowling Green at home. Now, these are the kind of teams that we can't really overlook. Like, we can't really overlook South Carolina State either, honestly, with the condition that the program has been in. But we got to get a win against Bowling Green here, and I think that's very reasonable that we're able to get a win here, especially with kind of the direction that Key is taking the program. Well, I'll say it this way: like, if we can go on the road when we're 3 touchdown underdogs and beat Pitt and beat North Carolina last year, like, surely we can get a win against Bowling Green at home. With Key having the staff he wants put together, so. Got us taking a W at home. Then we go on the road first week in October, the 7th, against Miami. Now, I've made no bones about how much I hate Miami, not just the football team, but the entire city as well. You'll never find me. You probably won't find me south of Tampa if I ever do go to Florida, even. But I think it would be difficult for us to go on the road and get a win here. You know, we came close last year. Probably would have beat them last year had Zach Pyron not broke his collarbone. But yeah, I think with the class they put together this year, they're going to be far more talented, though it's going to be new young talent. I just think it would be tough to go on the road, get a win here. So I guess take it as taking an L there. Then we have a bye week, and really, I would rather this bye week come a week earlier. It'd be nice if our bye week was before Miami. Just you don't get to choose where they go, so it comes middle of October before Boston College. So we'll come back home and I would think we can get a win against Boston College. They've been bottom of the barrel ACC as well. I mean, they've been better than us, but pretty much everyone in the ACC has been better than us recently under Collins. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4-3. So I've got us 4-3 going in to the North Carolina game. And I can't pick against Georgia Tech with North Carolina at home. We've owned North Carolina recently. We've been North Carolina's daddy. So until North Carolina can beat us, you're not going to convince me they can do it. I mean, North Carolina is a team that's especially recently really underplayed their talent. You know, they've got Drake May this year. They had that Sam, whatever his name is. He hadn't panned out in the NFL. Another Heisman Trophy caliber quarterback that just wasn't able to get the wins that they were expecting to get. And they've recruited fairly well, too, under Mac Brown. Another team that had kind of a colossal collapse, Georgia Tech broke them last year. Georgia Tech was the genesis of their collapse. So October 28th, I think we get a W against North Carolina at home. Now, we have a pretty tough stretch to finish the year in the final 4 games. So we go on the road against Virginia, on the road in Death Valley to play Clemson. We come back home and get Syracuse, which has been a much tougher team recently than they have been in the past. And then, obviously, Georgia at home. And again, I think we've got to find a way to get a W against Virginia here. And I think we can do it. And this is really a grudge game, too, where I mean, we lose to them on a Thursday night game last year. If you remember, Jeff Sims goes down, and we don't see him take another snap the rest of the season, which we didn't think would happen. But Zach Gibson comes in and struggles, though he developed into being able to get a win against North Carolina. I guess it doesn't matter who Georgia Tech plays at quarterback. They're going to beat North Carolina. But another game last year that you're just sick that we lost. Really, that game and the Miami game, you're just like, man, those were our games to lose. So, and really, North Carolina's kind of a grudge match from the transfer portal standpoint. This is where Nate McCullum went, so they basically took the best wide receiver we had on the roster at the time. Derek Allen, 4-star defensive back, went over there. Now, Clayton Powell-Lee beat him out, though, so I'm not necessarily super heartbroken that happened, but it would be really nice to string together 3 wins here against Boston College, North Carolina, Virginia. I don't see us beating Clemson. Clemson tends to finish pretty strong as it is and struggle earlier in the season. So I think we by the way, I'm going to this game too. Already got tickets. We're going to the Clemson game this year in Death Valley. And really every year my goal from here on out is to go to 1 non-conference away game and 1 ACC conference away game. So I think we can get a win coming back at home November 18th against Syracuse. And much as I hate to admit it, I don't see us beating Georgia. So originally I picked us to go 7-5. Here's the thing. As I'm looking back at it, let's see if I can change colors. Maybe a red pen. This block of games right here. Boston coming off the bye, playing Boston College, North Carolina, Virginia. I think we most likely drop one of these games, and I think we probably go 2 for 3 here. I just don't think we're going to win 3 in a row coming out, and especially if we have injuries or whatever. So take your pick. Maybe we come off the bye, have some injuries, and drop a game to a team we shouldn't, which happens almost every year. Like when Tech is doing well, like even under Paul Johnson, we would lose to a Virginia or a Boston College or a Syracuse where we really shouldn't have. So if you total all those up, I've got us going 6-6. That's my prediction. Barely making a bowl, but we make it. But I think we make a lot of improvement here. Now, this 6-6 will feel different depending on what our losses are like. So, like, if we end up losing to Ole Miss, but it's close, If we end up losing to Georgia and Clemson, but it's, within a touchdown, this 6-6 feels a whole lot different than if these are all 20-point blowout losses. But again, that's my prediction, 6-6. By the way, if you're not aware, there's a new structure. So there's no longer divisions anymore. They're doing something called the 3-5-5 schedule. So let me scroll over to this. What this is you have 3 rivals. It's hard to draw with mouse clicks. 3 rivals. You have 3 conference games. Or I'm sorry, 3 rivals that you play every single year. 5 conference games, so 5 ACC games that are non-rival player or non-rival teams, and then obviously 5 non-con games. So, who are Georgia Tech's rivals? And this is something we were talking about on this little impromptu show we did Monday night. Georgia Tech really got hosed with who they picked, or who was picked for them to be their 3 yearly rivals. So, also, if you didn't know, our 3 rivals are Louisville, which there's like zero history between Georgia and Georgia Tech, or not Georgia and Georgia Tech, Louisville and Georgia Tech, like historically. They're not geographically and similar or whatever. Obviously, Clemson, we keep that one. That one makes all the sense in the world. Clemson's maybe, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours from Atlanta. It's not far. And then our other rival is Wake Forest. So those are the 3 teams that we will play every year. Louisville and Wake make 0 sense. Like, it would have made way more sense. Like, if I would have had my choice, it would have been Clemson, North Carolina, and Virginia. That's who I would have picked for us. But I guess we were the last to the trough of, getting our rivalries picked for the ACC. Now, what this will do is it means that let me actually look that up, because I feel like I was wrong on the show. 3-5-5 ACC schedule. Okay, yeah, I was wrong. So every 4 years under this system, every single team here will have played each other in a home and home. Not just that they would have played each other once and then you don't get to play them away, but like basically your home and away cycle is every 8 years with a team. Every 4 years you'll have a home and home with everyone. So the nice things for this year's schedule is that we don't play Florida State, who we've played the past 2 years. That helps. But this 3-5-5 doesn't really help Tech from the standpoint of it's going to just be the best 2 teams. So even if Tech were to go 9-3, it's unlikely we're going to make the ACC championship, where in the old system, there's a strong likelihood we could make the ACC championship with 9 wins. I believe North Carolina did it last year. Were they 9-2 going into the ACC title game? But yeah, guys, I'm excited for this. This is the first season I've been excited about Georgia Tech football in a long time. I mean, I'm even excited for the spring game. I'm going to be there. I know some people were asking, like, hey, are you going to, maybe meet fans or, meet people that tune into the show and watch videos? Absolutely. I'll let you guys know kind of where I'm going to be hanging out before The spring game kickoff, which is at 1 p.m., will be on the ACC network, and I'd definitely love to see you guys there. So appreciate you guys watching the video. If you want merch, there's a link in the description for that. We have Cash App and PayPal if you want to support the channel financially. And if not, it doesn't cost anything to like and subscribe. So appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.